health supplies. We are on 4.0, that is page 9. And we've begun with 4.11 in
maintenance fund. Also, we were having challenges with them. They were not functioning well. But with the supplementary, they are among those that we are working on to rectify.
Chair, I would, the People's Republic of China donated medical equipment to the hospital around 12 years ago. And those are the equipment the hospital has been using. Most of these equipment, we are using them, but they are obsolete. Actually, their value, book value, most of them is zero. And you know, when, for example, when we talked about vehicles, people were laughing how we are trying to maintain junk vehicles which are even not friendly to the environment. It is same with the medical equipment. You see us trying to treat people, but the equipment we are using, their versions are very long back. For example, the CT scan, we have 2 slices. In Uganda, most of the hospitals, actually regional referral hospitals, they have up to 64. And private hospitals go up to 128 slices. You talk about the laundry machine, the enlisted equipment which the director is talking about maintaining, using the supplementary. Those equipment are very old. They are due for decommissioning. But because we don't have a way out, we are still trying to maintain. And you all know in maintenance, if you have been with equipment, for example, a car, it starts with the bushes, starts with a few. But if you don't handle those few things, by the time you start, after using it for a long time, the cost will be very high. That's what we are facing. The cost of this equipment and repair, it is getting very high. Yes, we are going to maintain them, but I would wish we also look at replacing these obsolete equipment. 10 years in medical device technology, it's a long time. Thank you.
So your equipment, they can be compared to the potholes of the old roads in Kampala. When you patch here, the next one develops. You know, normally in life we talk about age. When you grow, you become so expensive to maintain. This time, this lung runs this other side, the other time, you know, the heart is, you know, so even the legs, so that, you know, old age, your equipment is comparable to old age.
Mortuary fridges are also in that bracket. They are very old. We have tried to maintain them, fabricating them. Currently, they are going to be also maintained, but we need to replace them.
What is the capacity of your mortuary?
The capacity is 4 units.
4 bodies?
Yes.
The capacity is 4 bodies, but only 2 are functional. Is it true? No, they can only store 4 bodies. If you die, it's 8 in a day, others have to wait.
4 cabins.
So, no, a mortuary is a store for where the dead are kept. So if you are lucky, I mean, if you are unlucky and you die, when the cabins are full, you wait on the, you know, either you so this is very serious. Even the dead have their rights.
415.
So, because in summary, because if Naguru Referral Hospital, to have capacity of just two cabins, only 2 functional. When the 2 are filled, you remove the other vulnerable and you put the executive one.
It will be like COVID.
No, you take me. No.
It will be like
Madam
COVID.
Chair, don't start creating scenes here and making us think of death.
No, but it is natural. Sarah, it is natural.
But the VIPs go to the funeral homes.
No.
But what I wanted to ask, what happens?
Honorable Sir.
I hope the parties, the political parties don't become an issue in this. In that
Madam
area.
Chair, I beg that we proceed.
That this
We
one is
have other
FDC, the
engagements.
other one is NRM. But what I wanted to state, what happened? Do people keep bodies there for long? Or it is for a day, for 2 days? Because the turnover also determines whether you need more or not.
It is for long. So luckily, people, those who want to bury like the Kenyans will handle it, they go to funeral homes, I believe. We are not able to keep bodies for a month. For what? Because we don't.
We are not talking about months, because if somebody dies, because remember, you have capacity of bed space. When one dies, you automatically want to evacuate. Somebody has to leave. So where you are keeping them, you have capacity of two cabins. It is clearly indicated here that you put people on the floor, some others in the corridors as they wait for for space to be. Yes.
So
for people to pick them, we should acknowledge that you need space in the mortuary.
True. The dead, we handle them like the living also, because the living are also on the floor.
So the dead.
The dead can also go on the floor.
But on a serious note, Chair,
Yes.
I don't know how far they went with that.
Which is just below us. It is it belongs to an individual and who is willing to sell it. And as even we look forward to becoming a national trauma center, and with all the hullabaloo from especially you honorable members of parliament, those of you, your colleagues who belong to that area, because they don't want to hear of Naguru becoming a national trauma center. They are thinking of their wives, where they're going to deliver, where our mothers going to deliver. At one time, I got a team of ladies, women activists who came to inform me that they were going to demonstrate. So I told them to calm down, that this is still in the pipeline. But it would be good, Honorable Sir Opendi, if your suggestion of really buying that land and we build another hospital, but maintain this other Naguru for general services. Because as you are all aware, Kawempe is already too full. And we talked about the number of women who deliver at this hospital. If you pushed these ladies to Kawempe also, it would be
Kawempe is even worse.
It would be impossible. So, and I wouldn't blame anyone who is complaining that.
Do you have a functional X-ray machine?
X-ray, yes, it's working.
For now, you have. Honorable colleagues, as we wait for financials, delayed disposal, we have noted that all the items you have.
We have disposed.
You've disposed?
Yes, we have.
Okay.
So this is, and very recently, and we've disposed of.
So, honorable colleagues, as we wait for financials, that yes.
So we are still operating in the old structures.
But generally, because our interest is to ensure, to find out whether with the staffing that you have, you give timely and quality service in line of, because when you appear before these committees, first of all, this is it's an accountability committee. It's the time you have for us to know the challenges that you have as a hospital. And what is the population? What is your...
Our population actually as a hospital in the city, and a referral hospital taking care of areas even beyond Kampala, that is Wakiso, part of Wakiso, because part of Wakiso is in the Entebbe side, and then part of Mukono and even the islands is quite big. The population is quite big. And this hospital was built actually it was supposed to relieve Mulago National Referral Hospital.
Okay.
Because of, at the time, this hospital is now about 12 years old. So it has been working as such, but we are in transition to become a national trauma center. As far as
Become a
services-
national what?
National trauma center at a national referral hospital level. That's what is in the pipeline. As far as the quality of services is concerned, we are offering quality services to the best of our capabilities and the size of the hospital. Of course, the population that we have, Naguru, that hospital is a 100-bed capacity hospital.
100-bed capacity?
So our numbers far outstrip the facility that we have. Because, for instance, in terms of the women that we deliver per month, we deliver between 800 to 900 women per month.
800 to
Women
900?
to 900 women per month. So that is now only one department. So, and yet we have all the departments that you would find in a referral hospital. So the hospital is too small for the numbers.
Now, for now, are you at a level of a referral hospital or just a hospital?
We are a referral hospital.
You are a referral hospital?
Yes. Because we have senior consultants, we have all consultants.
How many delivery beds do you have?
Do you, the beds in maternity.
Maternity, abakyala bazaalira ku bitanda bimeka? Mulina ebitanda bimeka in your maternity?
Tulina mukaaga.
You have 6, eh? You have 6. But want to know, according to population, in a month, how many patients do you receive? According to record.
Now I need to, I didn't come, but we could get the numbers, because we could get outpatients, all departments.
Basically, do you know what what government relies on to invest in Naguru is dependent on the people that you serve. So we want to know in a month how many patients do you receive, whether in you call it inpatient or
Both
outpatient.
both
Yes.
in and outpatient.
So we'd like to know, we need to get that statistics.
And special
So basically
clinics.
we need to know service, how many people do you serve, eh? You know how you've brought out this issue of women, how many women you deliver in, how many babies you deliver in. Do you have a neonatal unit in Naguru?
Yes. But
How
small.
many incubators do you have in your neonatal?
Ken?
We have 22 incubators.
22, that's good. Dr. Ryonga should clap for you. 22.
Are they functional or are they all being used?
They are being used, but of course they require a category of equipment which is in use but require certain repairs.
In summary, how many are functional?
Correctly functional, they are approximately, I think, as per now, 8, because before they were 11, but they brought back in the workshop 2.
So you have a mechanical workshop that side? A workshop that your own workshop that repairs your equipment?
We have space which is not a standard workshop, where we try to do repairs. But of course, we do repairs, which is also a challenge. Since you said you want to know about us, we don't have a medical equipment maintenance budget. So
You don't have?
a medical equipment, usually there are some small monies which come on recurrent. Ideally, all referral hospitals get a separate medical equipment maintenance budget, together with a fraction of some monies which cater for electricals and minor civil works. But since we don't have that separated budget for medical equipment maintenance, we use that little money, which is usually 7 to 10 million a quarter.
We also we have access to the central equipment maintenance workshop, that is Wabigalo, the one which is for the Ministry of Health. So some of our work is handled by the central medical equipment maintenance workshop at Wabigalo. Though also the budget that we have there that is allocated to us is quite meager, and about We were informed in the recent meeting that we had at the national level that we had only 28 million there to maintain our equipment.
So at Wabigali, we only had 28 million. So is that all? Let's proceed to matters of audit. But as I've told you, when you appear before these committees, you need to use this opportunity to bring out some of those challenges that is up to you. Now, we are going to go to issues of 1.1, implementation of your approved budget. We just want you to confirm to this that China-Uganda Friendship Hospital Naguru received $1 billion, and out of that, 12.36 billion was warranted. So that is close to 100% release of your budget. Is that true?
It's true, Chair.
You had planned to collect 360 million. You only collected 232 million. You had a shortfall of 127 million. And that was a percentage performance of 6. You realize your NTR as planned, and give us the details of the sources of your NTR.
Has a few sources. We get our NTR from a few sources. We have we get NTR from patients that we see on private basis, both, and these pay for both diagnostics and management itself. And then we also get some NTR from we have a kind of a small business center where we have a few kiosks there, and people pay to the hospital, those who run those kiosks.
Okay.
And then sometimes we also get people doing research. Those ones also pay some money, who come to do research from our.
So that means you have a private wing at Naguru.
Yeah, we have a private wing in quotes because we don't have a standalone private wing. We don't have because of space.
Now I know there are services that people pay for, your patients pay for. For example, when one comes for a scan, when somebody comes for consultation, do we have such kind of payments to?
Yes, we do. Those who come and seek private services, they pay for some of those services. But the challenge with the collection of the NTR, as they say, money makes money. We have already talked about the challenges we have with the maintenance of our equipment. One of the major areas in that money makers in a hospital setup is a functional CT scan. During the year in question, this CT scan, it had been breaking down and being repaired, but during this period, it completely broke down and beyond repair. And it is obsolete even in terms of performance, because this is a CT scan that gives 2 cuts instead of, so it diagnostically is not good.
It's not functional.
It's not good. Even if it was functional, it is obsolete, because you'd easily miss a lesion if it is only giving you, let's say, in a certain unit measure, let's say a centimeter, and it only gives you like only 2 cuts. You are likely to miss. So this one is actually obsolete, much as it's broken down. The current ones that we have in the regional referral hospitals have 32 cuts.
So for now, you want to tell us that Naguru Hospital has no CT scan?
Has no CT scan, and this has been our song year in, year out.
For how long has that?
I think now I found it down. I think it's about 2 years now, Ken?
It is 3 years.
3 years.
For the last 3 years, Naguru Hospital has no CT scan.
Yes.
To a common person, what does a CT scan do? Briefly.
A CT scan is a diagnostic I would say, call it an X-ray machine, but a specialized one that can be able to see. We use for diagnosing areas like, say, head injuries, where you can a normal X-ray machine cannot give you a clear image, and other internal organs. So it's very difficult, for instance, to properly diagnose someone who has obtained sustained a head injury, and this is a rampant issue on our roads because of the borders and stuff like that.
So that means when a patient comes to Naguru and there is a requirement of having a CT scan, you have to tell them to seek services
outside.
Then they come back for the other service.
Exactly.
Don't you think that becomes expensive for a patient? You come to Naguru to be examined. Then after they tell you for a CT scan, go to Mulago. You make another line in Mulago, then come back to Naguru. So when it comes to effectiveness and efficiency in rendering really a medical service,
that is, affects us.
It affects you
very badly.
Do you have that in the current financial year's budget or in the next financial year's budget? What is the plan of the hospital for now?
These are very expensive machines, and actually they are provided by the Ministry of Health. They are not. And I came to Naguru in 2022, and that's the year, I think, when Ministry of Health was supplying all regional referral hospitals with CT scans. It was unfortunate for Naguru that very year.
That was the year
2022. Because I was coming from Bali at that time, and we were preparing in Bali to receive our CT scan. When I reached Naguru, the information I got was that Naguru had been elevated to a national referral hospital. So we could not, we would be considered in another period with other national.
So the reason as why you did not get a CT scan
is because from that list.
Because you were going to be elevated
yes.
to a national referral hospital.
Yes.
So up to date, you've not been elevated.
Not officially.
Not officially.
But we are referred to as a national referral. But
so you are referred as a national
referral, national trauma center, but we don't have an instrument even from cabinet that gazettes us as such.
Madam Chair, I wanted to ask about the private wing.
A moment.
On the CT scan.
Let's finish with the CT scan issue.
The CT scan. Don't you think you are not given the CT scan because you already had one, much as it was obsolete?
No. Thank you, Chair. National was already relayed to the Ministry of Health, and they were very aware that this CT scan was obsolete. And as I told you, we were supposed to have been on the list, and that's the explanation that I got, but to get a new CT scan among the other regional referral hospitals. But we dropped off.
Let me try to help doctor to provide information. Yes, it is true. 2021, Parliament appropriated additional money for CT scans for those regional referral hospitals.
For the whole country?
Yes.
Yes.
It came from Parliament here.
Okay.
So by that time, Naguru was not part of the region. Even in the appropriation, they mentioned the names. So, doctor, you could not feature on the list because even the name of the hospitals were indicated, the amount and the name of hospital, Mbale, Guru. That's how it came about. But that was the arrangement that subsequent years, then they could also buy for hospitals like Mulago, Butavika, and all those. So I did not take up. I don't know what happened.
So, doctor, meaning that to date, there are no plans for buying a CT scan because instrument for you to be fully operational as a national referral hospital.
That instrument is required not only for the X-ray, the CT scan, but for many other things, including we talked about staffing levels. We could not be given after restructuring, a new staffing, a new structure,
A
because
staff
of
structure.
that confusion that is not yet sorted. So, Ministry of Public Service is also waiting. When we go to Ministry of Public Service, that's the excuse they give us, that we need that instrument that elevated you to a national referral so that we can give you that structure.
A new staff structure.
Yes. And even the budget. We have a very meager budget because of that. Our budget, if he says that we are not even on the list of regional referral hospitals, the budget for Naguru is almost of a general hospital. And yet, the services and the staffing, the caliber of staff that we have are for a referral hospital.
The staff that you have, Honorable Choma, you had something to say?
Yes, Chair, I'm just observing a lapse in the policy, because even if the intention was to elevate Naguru regional referral to a national referral, still you would first put it at the level of a regional referral and equip it with what was necessary to be leveled at that state. Then later, you actually elevate to a national referral hospital. Rather, a national, a national referral hospital. So I'm just observing a lapse in the policy. Maybe at this level, of course, we have to take that one up with the Ministry of Health when it appears, and the sector committee. Maybe for us at this level, we want to find out whether the director has tried to put in request to that effect to the ministry.
And colleagues, there is something we need to note. They get a budget that is equivalent to a general hospital, but they're underutilized, because you bring a doctor and you know how scarce this resource is. So you bring people to be redundant, because if you don't give them, doctor can come to sit in a place where they are not, So I think we need to pick interest in this as a committee. You need to provide evidence of your interactions and interventions with the Ministry of Health. First of all, to some extent, it's a waste of resources. You pay staff at a salary that is for a referral hospital, meaning that they are offering a far specialized service. Then the budget that you give cannot, as an accountability committee. Honorable Amero, you had something to submit?
Thank you very much, Madam Chair, District, and a member of this committee. Madam Chair, I would also wanted to ask the director at least to be proactive, because some of these resources are meager resources that we have to hunt for. In whatever way, in your planning, did you endeavor to put what you are talking about, or you are just coming to lament before the committee because you received the name national referral hospital without you also putting in effort to push? Because some of these things, if you sit back, let me tell you, there's a lot of competition, and those who work harder get it all. So you need to push. Even when you come to us here, we cannot do anything without understanding how far you have gone. It is only the evidence of your communication with the ministry that can help us to push for you. I beg to submit, Madam Chair.
Yes, Accounting Officer.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you. Pushing. You may soon see people falling down. Because pushing, we have.
You've done it.
Pushing, we have. And as far as the budget is concerned, I think now my face is very common even in the Ministry of Finance. Recently, I heard you see that we are able to secure 5 billion because we had a lot of problems for a lot of areas which had accrued. And it was because of this pushing. We have written, we have worked. So I'm not someone who sits down. So pushing, unless I just...
You are among those who have pushed hard, eh?
Pushed hard. But again, Madam Chair, I want to say that my staff are not redundant. Actually, they are overworked. We need more people. Because we are doing that work much as the resources are very meager. Actually, and this I have always talked about it, our wage bill of which is above 10 billion.
As we've observed it.
As you have observed, and you find the staff, the money that runs the hospital is less than 2 billion. People who are being paid that amount of of money, they are doing, they are functionalized by something which is less than 2 billion.
Wage bill of 11 billion.
Versus 1 billion. You can see that there, people lack what to use.
That's what I've talked about, that if they are given what to use, they can offer more than what they are doing. That's why we're saying they are underutilized. So, honorable colleagues, we take note, Naguru has challenges and they did not realize their NTR. So what is your budget in NTR for this financial year? The current one, 23-24? That is 360.
Yes, hopefully now out of our out of the supplementary that we got, we are going to be able to work on some of the broken down equipment. Actually, the other thing, the equipment that we have is very difficult to maintain because, as you rightly heard, we are China-Uganda Friendship Hospital. Most of the equipment that we have are donations from the government of China. So getting spares for them is another tall order.
So for the equipment that you get from China,
it's very difficult to get.
The spares are very rare in the country.
Yes. So we go through a lot, and yet there is no money, even there is no budget for this. So it's a big challenge.
Honorable colleagues, we should take note of that seriously, that Naguru Hospital has no budget for maintenance of equipment, which is very, very irregular. It is very irregular and unacceptable, but we have taken note. Yes, Honorable Sarah.
Thank you very much. I just wanted to find out from the director. These are equipments donated by the Chinese government of maintenance. And of course, we are China-Uganda Friendship. So what is the position? And you said finding these spares is a challenge. So what does the Chinese government say in regard to this challenge? Have you put it to them?
China wants it to deliver things to us. It's up to us to look after them, including the infrastructure itself. And these things are now quite old, 12 years old. So they don't spend more money to maintain. They say maintenance is for us. They have given us, we can't fail to maintain. But maintenance is quite challenging to us.
No, are you saying the problem is money? I thought when I was listening to you, you said getting the spare parts is a challenge. So is it the money or it is getting the spare parts?
Both. We don't have the money, as we already stated, that we don't have a budget for medical equipment maintenance. We don't even have a functional workshop that can maintain this. We only have some space. We have designated some space where we can handle some of this equipment, which is not a workshop.
So but you have biomedical engineers?
He is one.
Oh, he's one.
Yes.
So, honorable colleagues, yes, Honorable Wanda.
Thank you, Chair. I think from the sources, because the spares are available in China.
Yes.
And it is just the resources required to keep importing them.
Yes, Chair.
So once the resources are got, when the equipment comes from China, the spares, you have the technical team that can fix them. You have the manpower.
Yes.
Okay. Honorable colleagues, that has been, yes, Honorable Sarah.
Lastly, still the income generating sources, the CT scan, according to your statement. And of course, aware that maintenance of equipment is a big challenge and there is no budget for it. Don't you think, rather than not have a service alone, why wouldn't you opt for placement? That you get a company, whether it's Elsmed, whether it is which company, why don't they bring the equipment, place it there, since you were generating income from it, so that people pay, maybe you agree on an amount, as long as the service is available. Because at the end of the day, you are still sending people to some place to look for a CT scan and come back with the results for you to maybe now, out of whatever has been seen, give them the necessary treatment. Why wouldn't you opt for a placement system other than outright purchase of equipment where the maintenance and also repairs are a challenge?
Thank you, Chair.
No, it's not only Chinese, even if they got it from Germany or elsewhere. The issue of maintenance.
The issue of placement.
This was meant for human capital development, basically pension. Is it true?
I think only 166 million, this 0.788 something, was part of the money appropriated by Parliament to China-Uganda Friendship Hospital, Naguru, which we did not receive from Ministry of Finance. The pension was taken care of by Ministry of Finance. We had a meeting with Ministry of Finance where they called all the entities and they handled both finance and gratuity at a go. And we all
both
submitted
pension and gratuity.
Both pension and gratuity to make sure that we don't have any arrears on pension and gratuity.
So that means for now you don't have any arrears for pension and gratuity?
We don't. So that one was handled.
So the 166 you did not suffer in any way?
It was not
It wasn't released.
Yes.
That's what we are noting, that you had a shortfall of 166.
Yes.
That meant the money was not received
Yes.
by the hospital.
Yes.
That is noted. And we are happy to note that you don't have any arrears in pension and gratuity.
We don't.
At least we can clap for them for that. We commend you for that,
And
because
finance.
really it is very unfair for colleagues who have served this country to suffer at old age. And please maintain it. When somebody retires, pay them religiously. You can spend anything, but at least pension for somebody who has served should be and it's a statutory obligation.
True.
So we want to thank you for that. Then utilization of warrants. We observe that out of you failed to utilize 570 million. You did not utilize that money. What happened? And this money was meant for payment of salaries, property management expenses, guard and security services, then maintenance and transport equipment. Yes, you said you don't have money for maintenance. So can you speak to failure to utilize the 570 million amidst the meager budget? So you have a very small budget, but even the little that is given cannot be utilized. What happened?
The big 500 million of this, actually, it was only 18 million out of what was appropriated for this other maintenance, blah, 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 blah. Only 18 million. The rest was wage. This money, we couldn't utilize it. It had to be returned because we could not recruit. That year there was a freeze on recruitment of staff by Minister of Finance. So there was no recruitment, so that money had to return, and yet we had demanded for it, anticipating recruitment. So that money, that's how we lost it. That's how it went back.
Then, Doctor,
So-
what about the 18? The services, those
The
the
18
guards were, yes.
Yeah, the 18 million, it went back in some sort of confusion. Not that we had enough money. Towards the end of the year, you are all aware that at one time the water of Naguru was switched off because of arrears. And we spent about 2 weeks without water and buying water here and there, and the MPs and other people were wishers giving us some water because we had areas of about almost 1.4 billion.
Areas underwater?
Yes. Someone says, let me give you water because this is our hospital. And they give us a truck of water. It was very serious.
So you got new friends in addition to China?
We got new friends during that challenge.
They added the Ugandan friends.
The Ugandan friends. So we endeavored, because we had areas of on water, we had areas on electricity, we had areas on so many things. So we endeavored to write to the PSST to allow us, instead of that money going back, to to spend it on these areas. Of course, we are just trying to hit in the bush to see what would come out, because we didn't expect much. We didn't expect that they would allow us. So, but we had incorporated that 18 million in what we were going to spend on these areas. But it was never granted, and we were time barred even to save the 18. That's how we lost that 18 million, and we didn't, of course, we didn't get any authorization to spend the wage. The whole money was swept back, and we remained with our areas.
So currently, what is the status of areas under water and electricity?
I'm thankful to Parliament, because later when they allowed us the supplementary of 5 billion, we have been able to clear all our areas. We have no debts with anybody. Water, electricity, and other utilities.
Yeah, that's
and
good.
We are able now to also do repairs of some of these Chinese things that we talked about. We ordered for some of the spare parts, and we are in the process of having them repaired. Thank you.
Honorable colleagues, we can proceed on 1.4, implementation of outputs. We observe that the auditor assessed activities worth 196 million. Out of the 2 activities, these were fully implemented, but you had some activities under partial implementation. And you should take interest. We need to look at that, but as you explain, why do you partially implement activities, yet you've received all the money?
And even the budget was small, 23.
Years to come, when during the budgeting process, they said maintain budget within the last year. So we have no room to say we want more money here, or we add for us money here. They said budget within this. This is the cake we are giving you. Work within this. And when you look through the protracted, you find you are not able to carry out certain investigations in the lab, much as you have equipment placed there. Because reagents, you have run out of reagents. Because you don't have a service contract. Actually, most of our equipment have run out of service contract for those machines in the laboratory. So those are the challenges that we have. So you find you are not able to deliver on the numbers that you expected. But again, that money will be spent elsewhere, where you have doubled numbers, tripled numbers. So that's how service in a hospital is. It's very difficult to say strictly, this money was for women who are delivering. Now I cannot use it on people who have come with after getting accidents. So it's not as rigid as that.
Though I failed to locate an appendix 1A to 1C. Members, have you seen it? Whoever has seen it, direct us to where it is. I'm looking for that annex. It's page what? It can't have a page because it's an attachment. I've seen so many appendices, but no annex. Sorry, appendix 1A to 1C. Team technical, if you've seen that, kindly.
Chair, it is page 17 up to 18.
Page 17 to 18. Auditor, I'm trying to get meaning out of this, because this is talking about these activities that were partially implemented.
Your performance over the years, you know which areas normally have a surge in terms of patients, so that when you are given a cash limit or a budget, you know where your expenditure most should lie and you should budget for it. Otherwise, if you say, look, we normally budget for 400 patients, but we get 800 patients, and therefore we have to spend outside what we had budgeted, to me that's a mischarge. The trend should indicate that instead of 400, you have a maximum of 800. so that you should be budgeting within what happens over time. Second, Madam Chair, they are expected to be having a budget performance report. But the variances that should be expected out of different outputs and activities, where you are showing what is budgeted and what is actual and the variance, should actually be minimal. Yes, we agree you cannot budget to the note. You cannot be 100% because it's an estimate. But the difference between the actual and the actual and the budget should not be so big that the variance goes beyond 5%. When you do that, then it means that there is something you never foresaw at that time, and that is poor planning. So I wanted him to, first of all, it's like he's admitting a mischarge, and secondly, to explain about his budget performance reports. How does he treat it? And over time, what does it indicate to you? Because if you perpetually find you have budgeted 100,000 and you are paying 200,000, then next budget you would say, no, over time I've realized it, I have to increase this budget from 100 to 200 so that you don't incur a mischarge, which is an irregularity.
Director, that's why I asked you about the figures in terms of your clients. Say in a month we receive 9,000 patients. Because when you have those figures, it is very easy for you to do the planning.
I agree with you to some extent. But I wish I had the flexibility on the budget. Because mind you, this is a government hospital. Whoever comes there expects a service. So, and there's nothing, I cannot say the cutoff is this, so the rest now can go away. Everyone says, this is my hospital, I need a service. So I can, and yet the budget remains the same. Some of the budget lines, if you are to look at them, you don't even know how to run it. If you look at the budget line of maintenance of motor vehicles, I have there only 1 million for the whole financial year.
1 million for maintenance of vehicles.
To maintain vehicles. And every financial quarter, they give me 250,000. So I'm supposed to perform a miracle.
How many vehicles do you have?
You'll be surprised that sometimes I fuel my own vehicle, the vehicle when I'm going to work.
Sure.
It reaches that sometimes. When we are completed, we have run out of fuel. So we already talked from the beginning about the budget vis-a-vis the activities that this hospital handles. This budget needs to be looked at. Actually, again, today, actually, tomorrow, I'm supposed to go with my friend here, again to go and bench at the director budget and see whether they can consider our increasing our budget.
So you said for vehicles maintenance you have 1 million.
1 million. And
1 million for a quarter.
Is it for a quarter or for a whole financial year?
For a quarter.
But imagine 1 million. It cannot even.
How many vehicles do you have? You need to give us details of your inventory. How many vehicles do you have?
8 vehicles.
So the 1 million is inclusive of servicing, all those? Repairs.
And these are old vehicles. 8 old vehicles.
How old are your vehicles?
Some actually around 10 years.
10 years, eh?
Yeah, true.
So are you not heavily contributing to environmental challenges in this city?
Doctor, you
polluting the environment in the city.
Doctor, previously you were in Mbale.
Yes.
Regional Referral Hospital, but you came here on a promotion to it.
I don't know whether it was a promotion
so,
or it was additional problems.
You can tell us the experience you had in Mbala and Naguru. And Naguru is near Minister of Finance.
You know, now he's near State House, I think. That's a promotion.
You are closer to the capital city.
I must confess that the problems in Mbale are so terrible that coming to Naguru, while it is the same level, but maybe it is some relief. It was stressful in Mbale that you find a bed, one bed, with 6 children.
One bed with 6 children?
Yes. And every mother is standing by the bedside. Yes. Sometimes there are not drip stands and the mothers have to hold 6 children.
Sure.
Yeah.
Honorable, the
was
situation
terrible.
is not different. Here
The
in
situation is not different in Naguru.
It is
It's
sure.
the same. Yes.
I have not seen that.
You should come because you have been there before. You should come.
I will not camouflage.
Don't camouflage, just come and see.
So, Director, take us through that. You know, as I told you prior, this is a starting to have issues of capacity in terms of bed.
Yes. As I said,
And-
it was built as a 100 bed. That's at a level of a district hospital, a general hospital. But its mandate was increased, elevated to a regional referral hospital status. And now, of course, in the transition to a national hospital status. But the budget has remained the same, it has never been touched. And this is something I was discussing even with the director of budget, and I could easily appreciate it, that you people have been given more mandate along the way, but
So how
What
many
is
beds
remains
do you
the same?
have in your maternity ward?
25.
25.
But most of when you walk through the corridors, most mothers are on the floor.
you find them.
When you walk through the corridors, you find mothers sleeping on the floor.
Yes.
Honorable colleagues, the team has told us that in a month, they deliver between 800 to 900 mothers. Do simple mathematics. That means how many mothers do they deliver in a day?
Roughly 20-something.
Almost
But,
30.
Director,
Almost 30 per day.
no, can I ask, do you have health functional health center 3s within
Yeah, we
this
have
area? Yes.
health center
Where
3.
does Kiswa fall? Is it under you?
It's under KCCA.
No. I'm talking the area.
They are within, yes, within that
They are within
area.
the area.
Yeah.
Other than Kiswa, do we have any around Naguru, Ntinda health center?
I think we are also Makshon Bay. They are in Butabika.
That is a little far.
Then Kisugu, we are supposed to take even this Komamboga, which though much they are.
There is 3 in Komamboga, I think. Are they functioning?
Yeah, they are working.
Then the rate at which Ugandans are producing is high.
This is terrible.
You men are doing it. Because when you go to Kawempe, it is full.
It's the problem of men
When
or women.
it is men.
Honorable
All the
members,
hospitals are full. So people are delivering. Congratulations to the men.
What about the women? So, honorable colleagues, Naguru is simplifying our work. First of all, we take note that their budget is very meager. And when you look at the 100 capacity bed, I was trying to imagine the number of wards that they have. And if you take an example of the maternity ward that has 25 beds, then means others have remained with 75. You roughly give us a distribution of the inpatient wards that you have, and how are they that the men, you do that as we proceed, do that simple calculations of the wards that you have and how many beds are in each ward. And we want details of the patients that you receive. The way you gave us the details of the mothers that deliver from that hospital. Otherwise, we appreciate the challenges that you go through, but we must endure and proceed with work. Then we are going to go straight to, there is this
Although new such issues might be foreseen, but if you look at where this money has been spent, which is clearly indicated for the mischarges, some of them are not emergencies. You must not have a coin. Don't you send them away? So you will not actually stand to say, I'm justified to spend money outside where it was budgeted because I get some emergencies and influx. When it's authorized, then it's not a mischarge. Otherwise, at the end of the day, we shall find ourselves. I thank you.
Accounting officer, I
Can I-
hope you have noted that.
Should I respond?
No, it is to 9. This brings up back issues of national water and issues of women. You told this was handled.
Those
The
have been
papers were handled
by now.
of 5 billion. So we thank you and please avoid accumulating areas in water and electricity. Do we now have areas as of now?
No.
Or do we close that chapter?
No, you can avoid, and that's why I said we are still going to the.
So
director
next
budget
year you
because-
anticipate that you might get new friends, Ugandan friends in addition to China, to donate water and some units of electricity.
I hope we shall not reach that.